Jesus, I am here. You already know everything in my heart. I don't need a heart here. Be my Lord, be my strength tonight, be my refuge, be my peace. To give you everything I cannot carry. I need you, Jesus. Small silence, a soft cello enters, almost whispered. You are here. When my heart was overwhelmed, you were the place I ran. When I could not find the words, you understood my tears. I came before you empty, with nothing to defend. You did not turn away, you welcomed me again. You were not waiting for me to become stronger. You were not asking for a perfect heart. You met me in the weakness, you stayed beside the broken, and in the quiet you are faithful when my faith is small. You are refuge when the waters rise. You are with me through it all. God came into my darkness. You brought your light into my weakness. You became my strength in my sorrow. You brought your peace in my wilderness. You stayed with me. God came in not just to change what surrounded me, but to reveal that you were always near. When I called your name, you came close. When I reached for you, you were there. God came in. There was a place I could not carry myself. There was a weight I could not lay down alone. I tried to understand what only you could see, until surrender became my only prayer. So I stopped pretending, I stopped hiding, I stopped trying to hold tomorrow in my hands. And I whispered, Jesus, take my life. And somehow peace Even when the waters roar, even when I cannot see what is ahead, you are my refuge. When I pass through the waters, you are with me. When I walk through the rivers, you are with me. When I walk through the fire, you are with me. The waters will overcome me. The fire will not consume me, because I do not walk alone. You are with me. Jesus, I don't just want your hand to change my situation. I want your presence to change my heart. I don't just want you to make a way. I want to know you while I walk the way. I don't just want the answer to my prayer. I want you. If you are with me in the valley, then the valley cannot steal my worship. If you are with me in the waiting, then waiting cannot steal my hope. If you are with me in desire, then I can still lift my head. David said, I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. You heard him, you lifted him, you set his feet upon a rock, and you put a new song in his mouth. So here I am. Jesus, I don't know how I made it this far. There were moments I thought I wouldn't make it through, but you kept me. And Lord, if you have carried me this far, please don't let me forget that you are still writing my story. Finish what you started in me. Silence for a moment. I look back at the road with tears in my eyes, not because everything was easy, but because I remember how many times you carried me. There were mornings I didn't feel strong enough to begin again. There were nights when all I could do was whisper your name. I didn't have the answers, I didn't have the strength. Sometimes I didn't even know what I was praying for, but somehow you kept me. When my faith was small, you did not leave. When my heart was tired, you stayed near. When I could not see what was ahead, you knew the way, and now I understand. Your faithfulness was carrying me. When I thought I was carrying myself, the God who kept me will complete it. The work you began will not be abandoned. The hands that carried me through the wilderness will not leave me in the middle. The God who cares to trust the one who started this work in me. You kept me. You will complete me.
Jesus, there are things I thought would destroy me that became places where I learned your faithfulness. There are seasons I wanted to escape that taught me how to remain. There are prayers I thought you ignored that you were answering in ways I couldn't recognize. There are doors I cried over that you knew I was not ready to enter. And now, I don't want to rush your hands, I trust your timing.
You have never abandoned what belongs to you. You have never forgotten what you began. You have never needed my perfection to continue your work. So when I feel unfinished, I will remember your hands are still on me. The God who kept me will complete it. The work you began will not be abandoned. The hands that carry me through the wilderness will not leave me in the middle. The God who kept me will complete it. I don't have to understand every chapter. I don't have to know every step. I only need to trust the one who started this work in me. You kept me. You will complete me. Everything drops to fell piano. Your word says, he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. So I don't have to be afraid of the unfinished places. The Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. And you promised, even to your old age I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. Almost whispering, you don't abandon what you carry. Jesus, there are still places in me that need your hands. Still places that need healing. Still places that need patience. Still places where fear speaks too loudly. Still places where I struggle to trust. Still places where I want to control what belongs to you. So don't stop working on me. Even when the process hurts, stay with me. Even when you prove me, stay with me. Even when you reveal what I don't want to see, stay with me. I don't want to finish thinking life. I want a life that you actually finished. I don't want to appear whole while my heart is far from you. I want you to complete your work from the inside out. Take your time with me. We're yours. Jesus, there were moments I couldn't find my way, but you knew exactly where I was. I couldn't see what you were doing. I couldn't even see tomorrow, but you never lost sight of me. Thank you for very soft cello enters.
I remember the seasons when everything felt hidden, when the road ahead looked nothing like
The prayers I had prayed. I wondered if I was moving backward. I wondered if my life had become invisible.
I watched days become months,
Months become years, and sometimes
I wondered if you still remembered
the things you once placed inside my heart. But you were there, quietly there,
faithfully there.
you never lost sight of me. When I could not see you,
You could see me.
when I could not find the way,
You knew the way.
when I didn't know where the story was going,
You already knew the ending.
and even in the silence,
Your eyes were still upon me.
you never lost sight of me.
Not in the valley,
Not in the waiting,
not in the wilderness.
not in the hidden place.
When I couldn't see tomorrow,
You could,
when I couldn't find my way,
you were there.
when I thought I was forgotten,
You still remember me. You never lost sight of me.
Father, there were times I mistook hiddenness for abandonment. I thought because nobody noticed what I was carrying, perhaps heaven had stopped looking. But your eyes were never limited by what people could see. You saw the seed before there was fruit. You saw the purpose before there was evidence. You saw the person I was becoming, while I was still struggling with who I had been.
You never needed a crowd to see me.
You saw me
You saw me.
before the opportunity,
You saw me.
before the open door,
You saw me.
before the answer,
You saw me.
before the breakthrough,
And you loved me
before any of those things happened.
Oh, you never lost sight of me.
Not in the valley,
Not in the waiting,
not in the wilderness.
not in the hidden place.
When I couldn't see tomorrow,
You could,
when I couldn't find my way,
you were there.
when I thought I was forgotten,
You still remembered me. You never lost sight of me. Everything falls away except piano.
your word says,
Can a woman forget her sucking child?
and you say that even if she could forget,
You would not forget me.
your word says,
Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
you saw Hagar in the wilderness,
And she called you.
the God who sees.
So even when I could not see you,
You never stopped seeing me.
Jesus,
You saw me,
when I felt forgotten,
you saw me,
when I was waiting,
you saw me,
when I was rebuilding,
you saw me,
when I was trying to believe again,
you saw me,
when I didn't know what to pray,
you saw me,
when I could only sit quietly in your presence.
and you never asked me to pretend.
You already know.
You knew the tears behind my smile,
You knew the question.
behind my silence.
You knew the dreams I stopped talking about.
You knew the places where disappointment,
Had made me afraid to hope.
and somehow
You stayed close.
I thought being hidden meant being forgotten,
but perhaps you were teaching me
that being unseen by people
does not mean being unseen by God.
David had his field,
Joseph had his prison,
Moses had his wilderness,
Hagar had a desert,
but none of them were outside your sight.
and neither was I
So I don't despise.
the hidden place anymore. If you are there,
I can worship there.
if you are there,
I can grow there.
if you are there,
I can wait there.
if you are there,
I am not forgotten there.
I am not forgotten there. To the one who feels like life has moved on without you,
God has not lost sight of you.
the hidden years are not invisible to him,
The prayers you whispered,
are not forgotten,
the tears you cried,
are not unnoticed,
the purpose inside you.
has not escaped his sight. You may not know what he is doing, you may not know when the season will change, but you can know this:
He still sees you.
and the God who saw you in the hidden place
Can lead you into.
the place he prepared for you. I remember the seasons when everything felt hidden, when the road ahead looked nothing like the prayers I had prayed. I wondered if I was moving backward, I wondered if my life had become invisible. Jesus, I remember where you found me, not where people expected me to be, where nobody was looking. I had almost believed that my life would remain there, but you called my name out of the dust, and I heard you.
Silence.
Very softly,
You call me.
a single cello note enters. I was in a place where dreams become quiet, where hope learns to speak in whispers. I had watched other lives move forward, while I wondered if you had forgotten mine.
But you were not measuring me by what people could see. You were looking
Beneath the dust,
beneath the
disappointment, beneath the years that seem to disappear, beneath the wounds I thought had disqualified me, and somehow you still called my name. You didn't wait until I looked perfect. You didn't wait until I had everything together. You came into the place where I was broken, and your voice found me there.
You call me
seasons when I thought obscurity meant insignificance. I thought being overlooked meant being forgotten. I thought the years without recognition were wasted years.
But you were teaching me
Something the crowd could never teach. You were forming me when nobody was watching.
David was in the field
Before he stood before a king.
Joseph was in the prison
Before he entered the palace.
Moses was in the wilderness
Before you sent him back to Egypt.
And sometimes
The hidden place
is where you prepare.
the person.
So I will not despise
The place where you found me.
I will not curse
The season that shaped me.
I will not call wasted.
What you used to prepare me.
Because if you were there,
Then even the dust was part of my story.
you call me
Out of the dust, out of the place where I thought I would remain. You call me out.
of what buried me,
You call me out.
of what silenced me.
You breathe hope into what looked forgotten.
You called me out of the dust,
Not because I was strong,
not because I had earned it,
but because your grace
still had a purpose for me.
You call me, and I will answer. Everything drops to soft piano.
Your word says,
He brought me up also out of an horrible pit, out of the miry clay.
you lift the poor out of the dust.
You raise the needy from the ash heap,
You formed humanity
from the dust.
and breathed life into it.
So dust was never too low for your breath.
And what you
Breathe upon can live again.
felt piano and cello only.
Jesus, you know the places where I felt forgotten.
You know the years
I wonder if anything would change. You know the door to never open. You know the name people call me. You know the moments I question my worth, but you never called me
what they called me.
You called me yours.
You never looked at my dust and
Saw the end. You saw a life you could still breathe into.
Father,
Thank you for finding me before I found myself. Thank you for calling me before I understood the calling.
thank you for seeing purpose.
Where I only saw failure.
Thank you for seeing a future.
Where I only saw history.
Thank you for seeing a vessel.
Where I only saw broken pieces.
You knew what you were doing when you called my name.
I thought I needed to become somebody before you could use me.
But you taught me that
Surrender comes first. I thought I needed,
everybody to believe in me.
but you taught me.
That one word from you is enough.
I thought I needed a platform
But you taught me.
to build an altar.
I thought I needed,
Recognition,
but you taught me.
your presence.
And now
If you call me from the dust,
I will rise.
if you call me from obscurity,
I will answer.
if you call me from the hidden place,
I will not be afraid.
if you call me into purpose, I will say yes. Hey! I remember where you found me, not where people expected me to be. But nobody was looking. I had almost believed that my life would remain there.
But you called my name
out of the dust. Lord, before I ever knew what my life would become. You already knew before people had an opinion about me. You had already spoken.
So tonight, Jesus,
I'm putting my life back into your hands. What you wrote cannot be erased.
silence. Let your words stand.
I have lived through chapters I would never have chosen, pages filled with questions I could not answer. There were moments when the future looked smaller than the promise you gave me. I watched circumstances change around me, but something inside me kept remembering your voice.
Not the voice of fear, not the voice of people, not the voice of yesterday.
Your voice,
The voice that spoke before I had evidence,
the voice that called me before I understood the calling, the voice that knew my ending while I was still standing in the middle. So I will not measure your word by today's picture. I will not measure your faithfulness by one season.
I will not let what I see around me become greater than what you said you spoke.
And that is enough.
What you wrote cannot be erased. What you whispered still carries weight.
What you ordained still has a purpose. What you planted still has a life.
Let the years pass,
Let the seasons tell.
let the circumstances change.
What you wrote cannot be erased.
No human hand,
Can rewrite your purpose.
no closed door,
Can cancel your word.
no difficult season.
Can silence what you said.
What you wrote
Cannot be erased.
There were times I confused silence with absence. I thought because I could not see movement, nothing was happening. But you were working beneath what I could see. You were shaping character. You were closing wrong doors. You were teaching discernment. You were strengthening roots. You were preparing me for things I had prayed for without understanding what they would require. I wanted the chapter. You were preparing the whole book. And now I understand. Not every delay was denial. Not every closed door was punishment. Not every season of obscurity was abandonment. Some of the quietest seasons were carrying the deepest work. You were writing, and I thought the page was blank. So I surrender my need to know everything,
I surrender.
my need to control the timing,
I surrender.
my need for people
To understand me, you are the author.
I will trust your pen.
What you wrote cannot be erased. What you whispered still carries weight. What you ordained still has a purpose. What you planted still has a life.
Let the years pass,
Let the seasons turn.
let the circumstances change.
What you wrote cannot be erased.
No human hand,
Can rewrite your purpose.
no closed door,
Can cancel your word.
no difficult season.
Can silence what you said. What says that before my days unfolded, you saw them.
Your word says that what you send forth will accomplish what you desire.
You are not a man that you should lie.
And what you begin, you are faithful to complete.
Then I don't have to be afraid of the middle of the story.
Because you already know the ending.
Jesus, take away the words I believed about myself that you never spoke. Take away the names that became heavier than your name. Take away the fear that made me shrink. Take away the shame that made me hide. Take away the comparison that made me question my own journey.
I don't want to carry somebody else's description of who I am.
Tell me who I am again.
Where people saw what I had not yet become.
You saw what you were forming.
Where people saw
a small beginning.
you saw purpose.
Where people saw delay.
You saw preparation.
Where people saw weakness.
You saw dependence.
Where people saw the dust.
You saw what your breath could bring to life.
So I will stop
fighting to be understood.
I will stop
Forcing doors.
I will stop
Trying to make prophecy happen by my own strength. If you wrote it,
You know how to fulfill it.
if you began it,
You know how to sustain it.
if you called me,
You know how to lead me.
and if the road becomes longer than I expected,